Hello. Okay, update. I did not match. I was like, is this real? Is this a glitch? And the way that I found out where to apply was really by kind of scoping out the anecdotes on SDN. I want to share with you at least the ones that I've applied to and have interviewed at, so I have a general sense of like what the program entails. Isn't that crazy? I don't even know how to process anything right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is such an important day in my life because today will determine whether or not and where I will go after dental school graduation. And I've been in Boston for the past 17 years and I never really had the opportunity to move out of the state. So as much as I love Boston, I've been itching for a new adventure, new beginnings. So I'm really excited and I'm very nervous. It's already 9 a.m. The results are out. I still haven't checked because I wanted my reactions to be like authentic. So I got ready, put on my hospital color scrubs. It's my first time wearing this seal blue. I kind of like it. Yeah, and I just want to share briefly on the programs that I interviewed at. The way that Dental Match works is that you first apply to the programs you want through a Pass portal. There's phase 1 and phase 2 depending on which specialty you're applying to. And then the schools will extend you an interview invite and then you interview there. And then on the Dental Match website, you list your rank. So you would normally rank all the places you've interviewed at, because if you're not being ranked by the programs because you didn't get an interview, you'd be like, that makes no sense. So basically, I interviewed at 6 places. I ranked 5. And for me, I've been wanting to go to New York for so long. Part of me is just like nostalgic of like Korea and how urban it is. And I felt that like New York is probably as urban as Korea would be, if not busier. And so I've been wanting to go. So AEGDs are more clinic-based and GPRs are more hospital-based, meaning that hospitals are always open, but maybe clinics may not. And because it's COVID, I didn't want to go to a program where it could potentially close and I won't be doing anything. So I mainly applied to GPR programs in New York. And the way that I found out where to apply was really by kind of scoping out the anecdotes on SDN, which I know it may not be the most reliable resource, and which is why I want to share with you at least the ones that I've applied to and have interviewed at, so I have a general sense of like what the program entails. And for me, there are 3 things that I really look for. One thing I look for is the people, the vibe, the atmosphere, the program director, because the PDs are pretty much the people who created your program. So are they invested in you? Are they gonna advocate for what you're looking for? I think having that great relationship with your mentor figure, aka your program director, I think is crucial to any learning experience. Another factor to consider is your location of the program and the on-call schedule. So if, for example, if I don't feel really safe in a certain area and I have to go and be on call like once every 2 weeks, that won't make me a little worried, because that means I have to make that trip late at night. Even if it's like an Uber, I just don't really feel, because I've never lived in New York, so all the more I think I'm a little more anxious, and I just didn't want to tack on the stress of, oh, like this is like on call plus, oh, like am I gonna feel safe? Another factor I considered, which is very important, is the program itself. So for me, I want to be comfortable doing complex endo and like be able to place implants and do restorations. So without further ado, let me explain to you the 6 choices I had. First place I interviewed at was NYU Langone Brooklyn. It's obviously in Brooklyn, New York, and it's level 1 trauma center. The pay is about $64K, and you'll be on call once every 2 to 3 months. Wow. And they do have a couple hygienists, but you will probably have to do your own prophy, which I suppose will be quick. And you know, for assistants, they do have assistants, but they say that one-on-one assisting is a little tough in the main clinic because they're so busy. But I think at the other 2 sites that you rotate through, they do have assistants there, and I think you do one-on-one. The program itself, basically, you rotate through 3 different sites that are close to one another. It's very fast-paced with a wide variety of procedures: ER, medicine rotation, anesthesia, OR, TMD, special care, perio, and they even teach you on Invisalign. The rotations for pretty much all the other programs I interviewed at, they do like block schedules. So you'll just be in that rotation, you won't be able to see your dental patients. But for NYU, you can actually, like, they break it down so that like you might have like 1 rotation for like 3 hours and 1 day, and then in the afternoon you may be able to see another patient in the dental clinic, which I thought was really nice, so that you're always doing dentistry. So I really like that. But you have 2 12-hour days and then 3 8-hour days starting at 8:15 a.m. And then you, like, I think 1 or 2 Saturdays per month you do work in clinic from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. But they don't have on-call as often, so I suppose that may be a cons. And you know, they're very social and they try to really encourage everyone to hang out. So you'll have, like, you know, socials every Friday, so they say. I don't know how they do it during COVID. And for implants, I think on average they place at least 1 implant. Because of the pandemic, I don't know exactly how often they will be able to place implants, but I know it's there. Pros is everyone talks so, like, highly of the program director and the attendings. They're very helpful, they're very hands-on if you want to, but they also respect you as a doctor, so you get to make the final call. Invisalign's a plus. You know, I think that's something that I've been wanting to learn once I graduate anyway, so that's a big plus. And you get really fast. You can also wear any color scrubs for those who are tired of wearing the same scrub. I've been wearing gray for the past 4 years, so I've been wanting to switch up my scrub color game. I think the cons is lack of continuity of care. So the front desk books all the patients for you. Therefore, if you want to see certain patients for yourself, you may have to, like, really work with the front desk people to make sure that you have the same patient. Like, you can't do it for, like, every patient, but few that you want to work with. Yeah, and then you do have to do your prophy, which I think is it's a con because that's less time to do other, like, challenging aspects of dentistry. So that's NYU Langone Brooklyn. So the second place I interviewed at is St. Barnabas. It's in the Bronx. It's level 1 trauma center. It's not as well known as others, but I think this place is such a gem. You get paid $65K and you're on call once a month. And you do have to do prophy, but you do get assistance, I think, like, each room, which is, I think, a strong plus for handed dentistry. Hello. And they really focus on comprehensive dental care and complex, like, treatment planning. And they have these, like, requirements so that you kind of, you know, just to make sure that you're exposed to different areas of dentistry evenly. For example, for endo requirement, they have, like, 3 molars, 2 bicuspids, and 3 anterior. And for implants, I think, I'm not sure about this, 1 implant is required and 1 restoration. On average, the residents do 30 to 40 endo, taught by amazing endo faculty who also teaches at Jacobi Medical Center. So they share the same endo faculty that pretty much, like, is very hands-on, teaches you really well, and everyone, I think, seems very comfortable doing endo there. On average, you do 3 to 5 implant placements and 9 implant restorations. You can place implants with IV sedation, which is also very cool. And then the patient population requires a lot of endo, so if you've been wanting to practice more endo, this is a place for you. But they don't have microscope. Across, you can expect to see 6-unit bridges, all on 4s. I was really impressed with the program, and the program director is, like, a very jolly, honest, like, really, like, dependable guy. Like, I'm just talking to him, I was like, wow, like, I can see that this program is in good hands. And so I highly recommend, if you're considering New York residency and if you're down to, like, living in the Bronx close to Jersey area, like, I think this is a really great program. You do have to rotate through 4 clinics, which is kind of tough, but I think you are not going alone, so you will be able to carpool with people to get around. I think they're pretty close, but 4 is a lot to go to places every day. So even though they want to really focus on continuity of care, I just don't know across, like, 4 dental clinics how you cannot see the same patients consistently. But maybe it could be done. I think they pick about 20 residents, and I think there's 2 chiefs. Pros is the PD. I really like the PD. He was really, really great. And I think you have great exposure to endo and implant, which I think is really cool. And you get to do it under IV sedation, which I don't think every program offers that. I think the cons is that it's in the Bronx, and you do have to rotate through 4 clinics. And I did hear that the facilities are a little run down, so if you've been wanting to work in a very pristine place or somewhat decent, maybe this may not meet your expectations. But I just don't know how much of this is a deal breaker for most residents, because, like, hospital dental clinics are not going to be, like, the prettiest across the board. So that's Barnabas for you. And the third place I interviewed at is Montefiore. It's not Montefiore, it's Montefiore. And it's also in the Bronx. The pay is $68K, and you're on call twice a month. And I forget about the prophy, I forgot to ask. They do have assistance, but it's not going to be one-on-one. And I think they have 4 different clinics, and you are pretty much, that's your home base. For Montefiore, you have, like, 60 residents and 4 clinics. So I think you also have to, like, rank your top choice, and you get matched there. It's 9 to 5. Your on-call starts like between 5 p.m. till the next day 8 a.m. for weekdays, and then like 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. like 24 hours on weekends. And you do have like evening clinic 1 night per week. You have a stipend of $500 for educational purpose, and you have to take the call in-house, meaning that you have to spend the night probably at the hospital where they have like on-call rooms. And you have like OR rotation, digital impression, rotary endo. They do have garage parking available, and also in housing, some housing available. So I think this program is like, depends on what you make of it. Depends on what you really want to get out of, and I think you can let the people know which one that you really want to focus on. If you want to be really comfortable doing endo, do as much endo as you can. And I think they will arrange it for you. So it's very flexible. If you're looking to do very little, you can do very little. You can do a lot. So I think that's a pro. For cons, I think because it's like really high up in the Bronx area, I just don't feel quite comfortable. But I'm sure it's great. So if you're okay with the Bronx, this is a great place to consider. Next up is Jacobi. I actually interviewed here in person before COVID got really bad. So it's in the Bronx, and it's level 1 trauma center. The pay is 70 to 71K, including the stipend they give you for meals. You're on call, I think, twice per month, and I forgot about the pro fee. I don't know if you do your own pro fee. But you do have some assistance, but it's not going to be one-on-one. Pretty OS heavy program, they say, and it's good for people that are very motivated, like me. You'll be able to see hybrid metal and acrylic implant dentistry, laser dentistry, great rotary endo. Pretty much the same endo faculty that teaches at St. Barnabas also comes to Jacobi to teach you. So you'll have the same amazing faculty that's going to teach you how to do endo beautifully. Basically on the same floor of the dental clinic, you have like OS, pedo, and ortho residents. So I think if you have any quick questions, or if you want to like observe them or like shadow them, they're like right there. So I think that's kind of cool that you get to have this collaborative atmosphere with all the residents on one floor. And I think it's a case for pretty much all programs. You send out most cases out to lab. I think they accept around 11 residents. Implants, I think you can definitely have like 1 implant, but I think you have to ask for more and you have to be proactive. So what I liked about this program is the program director is very charismatic, and I think he really is a great advocate for the residents. Pretty much like the 2 residents that I talked to out of the 11 raved about the PD, and I can really tell that he's very well respected in the program. And he really wants you to learn and take away as much as you want from the program. I think you'll have a really great mentor. The facilities are pretty decent, and I overall like the vibe. The only cons for me was the location, and you are on call once per month, but like once per month is not that bad. There's lectures and like oral surgery rotations, and you can't avoid those in the hospital GPR program. Next place I interviewed at is Bellevue. It's not Bellevue, it's Bellevue. And it's in the lower Manhattan, and I think they pay around 65K, including the meal allowance. And you're only on call during the oral surgery rotation, which I think is only 6 weeks. So other times you're not on call. And even if you're on call, they encourage you to go home at 10 p.m. because if you stay past 10 p.m., you have to take the next day off. And they want you to be doing dentistry. So basically the on-call is very chill. And you do have 2 assistants in the main clinic, but it's not going to be one-on-one. I think they also have around 8 residents. I think they are experiencing some assistant shortage. So Bellevue is implant heavy. You can see for pros, all-on-4s, hybrid, single unit implant restorations, lots of dentures, few partials. You have morning lectures at 8 a.m. and I think the residents kind of go around and do like presentations like throughout the week. And then you work till 5 p.m. and you rotate through 2 clinics. So I think on average, Bellevue residents place around like 11 implants. You can have as many as up to 30 to 40 implants. That's a lot of implants. The pros is that I really love the program directors. They're so sweet, and I think the implant restoration, implant placement, and implant restoration is such a big pro to this program. You do get to do, I think, interior and premolar endo on the one site. You can't do endo on the other site. And then they do have endo rotation, so that's when you'll be doing rotary endo and I think molar endos. That made me a little concerned because you're not doing endo. Unlike Jacobi and St. Barnabas, for example, they have like endo faculty that will come in, I think like once a week and teach you. There's no really consistent like training on that end, but you have like one intense period where you're doing, endo. And I think it depends on, I think, some luck and some discipline, and I think it also depends on, getting comfortable doing interior and premolar, root canal. So the cons of the program is that you don't get to do molar endo throughout the year. But the pro is great location, it's in Lower Manhattan. The program directors are great. The implant placement and restorations and the complex pros procedures I think is really cool. It felt less hectic in terms of scheduling. You'll be busy, but you won't be like going crazy. That was a very solid program for me to consider. And the last place I interviewed at is Columbia. It's in Washington Heights, up high, up north in Manhattan, pretty close to the Bronx actually. And they pay you $77K. They do have a very interesting on-call schedule. So you're on call once a week. It's gonna be 24 hours. And during that time, basically you can't really see patients in the dental clinic. The next day, post-call, you have to take that day off. Meaning you're only on call on weekdays. So that means for 2 days, you can't really do general dentistry. The good thing about this program is that, especially for me, who's very interested in aesthetic cosmetic dentistry, the program director and this instructor, I think she's pretty much like the co-program director. They're both veneer experts, and they can really teach you a lot with like aesthetics, talks, fillers, and stuff like that. Pretty much at Columbia, you have every specialty available, so they can help you arrange you to maybe treat a patient on the endo floor. And I thought that was really cool. You get to see a lot of medically complex patients and special care needs, and I think that's really cool. I think they have designated days where they focus on like special care or like cancer patients. If you're interested in oral surgery, this place is it for you because you are going to be working so closely with the oral surgery. And I think they accept 6 residents per year, but I think this year they only accept 4 and they have 2 chiefs. And yeah, I think the pros of this program is that there's a Columbia name if you care about the name. 2, like you get to collaborate with pretty much every specialist available at the school. And while it's not as structured, you can certainly go ask help. And I think aesthetic dentistry and being able to be trained in clear aligners, I think is a plus. And the faculty, the attendings are very hands-on if you want them to be. So I thought that was really cool. The cons of this program is, well, number 1, the on-call. So if you're like not about the whole 24-hour on-calls, then this program may not be the best for you. Nothing is absolutely guaranteed, I think, in terms of general dentistry, and I think that's where they can help you arrange certain things, but you have to really be proactive. So it's not really set up for you. I think that lack of structure can be good for people that are really like go-getters and just really want to like see things happen and make it happen. But if you're someone who likes to follow along with the program and you just kind of roll with the punches, you may not be able to get out as much in terms of general dentistry. So I think this program is very geared towards people that are interested in oral surgery or who want to practice general dentistry with oral surgery focus. I think for implants, you can place as little as 1 or as many as 30 implants. So I think, again, this program is what you make of it. So I think those are the 6 places I interviewed at. I am getting so nervous. It's 9:48. Like, the match results have been out since 8 a.m. So I need to check. Okay, palms are sweaty. I'm so nervous. And I have my laptop in front of me. I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna find out where I match. I am like excited and scared and my heart rate's going up. Let me pray first. I trust that wherever I match, God is leading me there. There's no buts, no ifs. It's just what it is. Okay. Where do I find the match result? I thought that was out. Do I get it in an email? What? I didn't match? I didn't match? Hello? Okay, update. I did not match. I was like, is this real? Is this a glitch? I had a lot of mixed emotions because I ranked 5. I only took up 1. And yeah, I guess that's how life works. So basically how you post match, I guess I'll show you that too now through my life. At noon there's going to be a list of available spots. I literally have to write emails, call them, figure out a thing, and I Like I have a patient at 1 p.m. I don't know why I did this. I was so sure I was gonna match. So yeah, I'm just it's time to concentrate. I have an hour and a half to pretty much draft every email possible because it's first come, first serve, and I'm afraid. I'm very afraid. Okay, bye. I'm going to be writing a lot of emails like, hello, this is me. I'm interested in post-matching to your program. Attaches my CV. I even emailed the match website. I was like, are you sure you have this right? Because it makes no sense. They're like, we're 100% sure that this is right. So it's like, God is humbling me. He's humbling me. What is it? Hello. So who would have thought that I would be doing a post-match interview? But it is what it is. I called and emailed all the places, and there was only one place that gave me a post-match interview so far. Yeah, and I had it at 9, and it was actually a really great interview. I really loved the program. I actually didn't know what their program was about from the website, but one thing led to another. I was able to speak to a resident that did the program a few years ago, and yeah, I am waiting a reply, and if this doesn't work out, then you know I will be looking for jobs, and that's not terrible because I will probably get paid more. So yeah, and it just gave me a lot of perspective. First, I was really thankful to a lot of people that gave me support through DMs, messages, sharing their Bible verses, just sending all good vibes, and thank you so much. Yeah, I felt very defeated. I felt that, is there something wrong with me? Did I do something so terribly during the interview that everyone decided to reject me? I think there was just already a lot of fear of failure and rejections to begin with. So I think, the same wave came, and I'm glad that I am able to say that I trust in God's plans and that His plans are sovereign and His will be done according to His perfect timing, and I just need to not lose sight of that. It's so easy for me to think that something's wrong with me when there really isn't. I really gave my best, and I replay so many interviews in my mind, and it is what it is. And yeah, and I also just was able to gain some perspective too. It's only 1 year of my dental career, and there's only so much you can really learn in 1 year too, and I think it's up to also what you make of it. My learning doesn't stop after 1 year. I can start working, I can do residency, whatever it is, it's not gonna change my desire to be the best dentist that I can be for my patients. So there's a little bit of consolation on that, and I know that a lot of my friends and people I know didn't match, and I'm just realized that I'm not the only one through this. I just have to be hopeful and just be willing to knock on new doors, because where doors are being closed, another one will open. So yeah, I just want to share that before I find out what happens. It's been a long day. And yeah, I still praise God in that, even this has been prayed for. So if God is closing doors, then it is what it is. I'll keep you posted. We shall see. I want to say to those who didn't match that it's okay, and it has no bearing on who you are as a person or your ability to become a great dentist. I think it's so easy for us to be hiding in shame and taking everyone else's matches so personally, what about me? And I think while that's a very valid emotion too, just don't want us to bash on ourselves, because it's not true. Things happen, and that's okay. It has no bearing on who you are as a person. It doesn't detract from your worth as a person, especially as a daughter of God. God just closed doors, and that's okay, because I prayed on it and doors were closing. What can I do? So yeah, I just want to say that too. I never thought that as I was sharing my residency journey of applying to 17 places and 6 interviews, I guess now 7, that I will be sharing about my post-match experiences. But hey, guess any new kinds of content for YouTube, I have it. Yay! So it's not 2:30 yet. I was coming back from my bathroom to get ready to get COVID testing that we have to do every week. I just got in. It's so crazy because Columbia University undergrad was my top choice, and I never got in. Dental school, Columbia was also my top choice. I even went to the school to pray before I applied. Like for dental school, I didn't even get an interview. My application never even was set to complete for some reason. Even though I didn't match anyway, I ranked Columbia GPR on the lower end because of maybe it wasn't best for general dentists. And now I'm accepted to Columbia AEGD when I wasn't expecting it. God is good. Isn't that crazy? I think it's so crazy. I don't even know how to process anything right now.